Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone. I hope you're all feeling very well. It is the day after the companion announcement, and there's been quite positive reaction, but there's also a bit of a mixed reaction as well. Apparently, there's also some confusion because even though we were told that Yasmin Finney's Rose was David Tennant's companion, apparently there's confusion within the fandom because, well, I don't know what they were thinking, but I'll just read you this from a group that's on Twitter. Um, it's quite, I didn't even know there was any confusion because obviously from day one when Yasmin Finney was announced, and then fans were at filming. It was confirmed that she was Donna Noble's daughter. So I don't know where this confusion is coming from, if I'm quite honest. Um, but I'll hold on. It's actually in here. I just don't get what's So here we go. So this was put up a day ago. I won't say who it's from, but I'll just read it. There seems to be a lot of confusion. How it stands at the moment is that Yasmin Finney's roles will essentially be a character in three specials with David Tennant and Catherine Tate. She is not Shooty's companion for now, right? It has been made very clear, but then you go down to the comment section here and you can tell why these so-called fans want Yasmin Finney to be Shooty's companion is because they have an agenda to push. And if you looked at the comments, it's very clear that they want to push a certain agenda. Now, Millie's age has been a cause of concern for some out there. And I think people forget that Karen Gillan was 18 also, as far as I'm aware. She was 18 when she took the role as Amy Pond. Um, by the time we get to Millie's first episode, she'll probably be 19 anyway. But this age thing, for some weird reason, seems to be an issue with some fans. And I just don't get it. We have other people calling her, fake Rose to the rescue. Is another tweet that I saw. Fake Rose to the rescue. Um, I just don't get it anymore. It's like she's being judged before anybody has even seen her on screen on Doctor Who. Um, and I think it's such a shame, have to be honest. Uh, but as I said, the majority of the reaction has been mostly positive, if not a bit underwhelming for some fans, which is understandable, I suppose, because the announcement, I did kind of say to you is that don't be surprised if something happens to children in it, because it's typical RTD to use children in need. But I just think it was underwhelming the way it was done. That's my reaction to it. But am I happy that she's been given the role? Absolutely. Let's give her a chance. Let's see what happens. You know. But again, there's certain fans in this fandom. Well, we don't really call them fans because we know what they are. But let's say people that have hung on from the last era. It's clear what their intention is to do is to continue to try and make these characters a tool to be used against fans, and it's absolutely disgusting. Um, They haven't got a clue. Some of these fans are talking about her age. This is the thing. Again, they're showing that they only joined up with this show when Whittaker became the Doctor. They haven't even gotten the decency to go back and actually, do a bit of research to make themselves look like as if they know what they're talking about. Right? But it's been made very clear that Yasmin Finney was going to be part of David Tennant's adventure. Right? Why some people out there would think that she was going to be Shooty's companion is beyond me. Right? But again, those fans that are disappointed because they can't virtual signal now. Right? And are unhappy that a blonde white girl has taken the role and it annoys them. And it's ridiculous. Just keep showing their true colours. This is why I said let them do what they want. Let them be as negative as they want. People are seeing them for who they truly are. But I do think it's a shame that again, people just can't be happy, or even if they're not, just let everybody else enjoy it. I think comments like as I said, fake Rose to the rescue is not going to help the situation. And especially if you're a big YouTuber and you've got a lot of followers on Twitter, I don't think that a grown man should be making comments like that. It's clear that you don't like the show anymore. It's clear that you don't watch the show anymore, but you continuously moan and bitch about it. Like, move on. If you're not going to watch Doctor Who, and here's the thing, someone actually even mentioned it last night, like, these people will tell people not to watch the show, but yet they'll watch it themselves so they can complain about it. It's actually hypocritical. This is why I keep telling you, go and watch these things for yourselves. Don't be letting anybody tell you not to watch when they're watching themselves. Anyway, because of all of the stuff, I did say we'd wait. I didn't get to hear our interview properly because I had to keep the volume down. But I do have our quotes now, and I'm going to read them out to you. And you tell me how she comes across, because again, like Shooty, she seems to come across as very, very humble. So this is what she said. She turned around and said, and then Shooty said something as well. So this is what she said. I'm beyond honoured to be cast as the Doctor's companion. It is a gift of a role and a dream come true, and I will do everything to try and fill the boots the fellow companions have travelled in before me. Millie Gibson. Then Shooty added, Millie is just is the companion. She is full of talent, strength. She has a cheeky sparkle in her eye and is sharp as a razor. Shooty got what? So I'll read our words again. I am beyond honoured to be cast as the Doctor's companion. It is a gift of a role, and a dream come true. And I will do everything. Listen to our language. I will do everything to try and fill the boots the fellow companions have travelled in before me. Millie Gibson. So, again, like Shooty, she said all the right, and she did. She looked nervous as hell last night, and that can be, that can be put to one side, because the simple fact of the matter is, she's on Coronation Street. Apparently, she smashed it, and she won awards for that. Absolutely fantastic, fair play, right? But this is going to be our biggest role. This is the role. Remember, with the Disney Plus deal, this is going to make her an international star, right? I don't think anybody has actually realized the context of this. This is the first proper companion, and no disrespect to the others, but this companion is going to get more worldwide exposure than any other companion before them. So, yeah, this was a big moment. She was nervous, and I think she did have. I have to say, I think the two presenters, Mel, she's funny and all, and I know she tried to kind of make the interview lighthearted and make her feel at ease, but I think her antics just made her a bit more nervous, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, as I said, there's a lot of pressure on our young shoulders, and this is why I think people should just back off. I don't care what opinion you have, just back off. Let the girl breathe. Let the girl do what she has to do, and let her do the talking on screen. And fair enough, there are similarities to Rose, right? Won't deny that there are similarities. Even the promo picture, she's wearing a pair of dungarees. I think Rose or Billy Piper wore a pair of dungarees with a kind of purple top, right? So yes, okay, there are similarities, okay, but what is the big deal? See, this is another thing that I've seen as well. He's trying to bait the fans by giving them something familiar and stuff like that, right? But there's nothing wrong with that if it's done properly, right? Just because Disney Plus and with Star Wars and other shows out there, they've done it wrong, doesn't mean that doesn't mean that RTD is going to do it wrong. You got to give the guy a chance. You got to give everybody a chance. I mean, as I said, I know there's some people that still have concerns. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. But I mean, I'm kind of saying it myself, and there's other people out there that will back me up on this. Everybody's just getting sick and tired of it, though. There's too much negativity around in the world already in society, right? We watch Doctor Who and programs like that for a bit of escapism. Right now, we have some positivity going on in the fandom and positivity going on with the show because of the announcements and the things that we've seen. And yet, some people still want to, and I've seen it on Twitter, and I've seen it on YouTube channels, they still want to stay negative about Doctor Who. I get it. Chris Chibnall was the worst thing to ever happen to the show, right? Everything that he did was wrong, right? I get that. He hurt me just as much as he hurt everybody else out there, right? We all felt it, right? But there comes a time where you have to draw a line and draw a line under it, right? The last episode, he had an opportunity to fix those things that he had set off and started, but he never did. He didn't care, right? He was a coward. He wouldn't follow through with it. So I don't know why everybody is still getting hung up on the previous era. And then I'm seeing comments, well, do you think RTD will address? Why would you want them to? This is what I keep saying to people as well. Why would you want them to start his era trying to fix another man's mess? That's not his responsibility. And if he gets bogged down in that, right, I'm telling you, it's going to affect the ratings of the show. Because on one hand, fans are saying, oh, well, we don't want any connection to Jodie Whittaker's era. But at the same time, they're being hypocritical and saying, well, they need to fix this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other. No, he doesn't need to fix something. Right? The movie is there, right? Some people love the movie, some people hate the movie, right? For obvious reasons, right? Both have valid points, right? But the movie is just there, isn't it? It's just that thing that's there in the Doctor Who universe. It's just there. This is the way people should look at this previous era, right? He hadn't got the courage, as I said, to finish what he started, right? So he just left it there, right? And remember, the universe and all was destroyed and all that, and he totally ignored that, right? Do you think when RTD comes back that when he does it, the universe is going to be destroyed. No, he will do it his way. Simple as that. Just like he did when he didn't include the Time Lords and stuff at the beginning of his reign of Doctor Who, right? He put them in the bubble. Well, we found out that they were in a bubble universe then, right? But he didn't want to deal with all that, so he found a handy little way to put that in the back of things, and then obviously as the series went on, then we start getting clues that maybe Gallifrey was out there somewhere, and the Time Lords. So, we just have to wait and see what happens. I think we're onto something really good here. I'm not just saying that. I mean, the past 5 years that we've had has been shocking. But I honestly do believe we're onto something really amazing here. And, yes, I've probably given a leap of faith. But I always did say, as I said to you, when RTD, I did say, I'm going to back him. I'm going to support him. I'm going to give him a chance. And my stance there hasn't changed. Nothing that has happened since then has changed my mind in supporting him. For me personally, I like what I've seen so far. And I think the two of them will smash it out of the park. But before all of that, we have David Tennant. And we already know with his Doctor from the past that obviously it'll depend on the story. But if it's done properly and if it's explained why he is the 14th Doctor and stuff like that, we already know that David is going to be excellent in the role, right? And we already know from previous experience with the RTD era that he is capable of writing great stories. So, again, for me, it's given him the benefit of the doubt based on what he did previously, not what the previous showrunner did. We are entering a new era. And here's the thing as well, though. Even if it is bait, all of it is bait. And look, I have never shied away from the fact that I've said to you is bringing David Tennant back is a stroke of genius by RTD. It bridges that gap between the two eras, the complete mess that we had before, right? It will give Shooty, obviously Shooty's going to be filming, so the whole logic behind bringing David Tennant back was kind of, the decision was made easier because Shooty would be off doing something else at the time, right? So they brought David back. Made sense to them on a lot of levels, right? Obviously, because he's the most popular New Who Doctor, he wins polls left, right, and centre, right? So yeah, RTD is not afraid or isn't, shying away from the fact that he's trying to win fans back over. There's no doubt about that. He absolutely is. But what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that if he pulls off a master stroke and gives us some of the best Doctor Who that we've seen in years? I just can't wait till an episode drops, because then once the episode drops, then all of this, well, either fans will be vindicated that have the worries, or everybody that gave it a chance. We're right to give it a chance. But either way, you know, it doesn't matter. I just want everybody, and hopefully RTD produces a show that we can all get behind. That's it. That's it. We need a show for everybody to get behind. I've actually put up a Twitter poll to ask people how they feel about the casting. So I wrote, how is everyone feeling about the casting of the new companion? So it's got 106 votes so far. So 6% say they're disappointed. 37% say they're undecided. 57% say they are happy. So that's 107 votes now. So if anybody wants to vote, hasn't voted in the poll, go ahead. It's there. And you can make your feelings known and clear in the comment section as well on the reasons why you voted, if you want to do that as well. Some people have left a comment. If you want to leave a comment, you're more than welcome. But yeah, everybody vote. It's there for another 6 days, so we can get a bit we can get a bit of a more accurate result. It's a bit awkward for me because she looks like the girl I used to fancy at college. LOL, she's beautiful. In fairness, yeah. Look, I'm not going to deny that she isn't a looker. And she's got, as I said to Cheryl earlier on, when she leaves the show, she's going to break some hearts. She's going to have a lot of. She's going to have it's clever by RTD as well, though. You know, you can criticize, people can criticize or say what they want, but it's all clever. You know, and same with it being on Disney Plus as well. You know, she's going to appeal to a big audience, and Shooty already appeals to a big audience. So they both have both are going to bring in an influx of fans, and that's even without us or people that are back in RTD right now. And obviously there are a few that are still undecided, but if RTD pulls it off, then they're on board as well. This is what I'm saying. I don't think this girl is going to get the most exposure that any companion has gotten. And I just hope she's looked after by the people around her and she's protected as well. Because there are still some people out there throwing up nasty comments, but we ignore them now because they're few and far between compared to the relative positive. And as I said, there are a lot of people that are underwhelmed and some that are disappointed. I'm not going to lie. There's a mixed reaction, but I would have to say the mostly positive side of it. It's more positive, but there are still people, and it's understandable because of the last. Listen, I'm not saying I don't understand it. Of course I do. I've been witches on this journey. Just comes a point where I just had to let go of that last era and just forget about it because it's not. I said it last night, right? And I didn't mean to actually blurt it out, but it's too late because some people heard me. But as I said, it's getting me down. I'm getting depressed, man. Right? And I'm not. Look, last night when I said, you know, people are trying to. I know they're not doing it deliberately. I know they're only trying to get me opinion and stuff like that. And they're sending screenshots and all that. But I've made it very clear. I want to move on from the last era. I don't actually care what those fans say or what's being said about Whitaker or Chibnall. I don't actually care anymore. Right? I'm on the RTD hype train and I have been from day one. And I just want to focus on that. That's it. I wasn't trying to fucking have a go at anybody last night. Right? But emotions got the better of me last night, I have to admit. Right? Because I've just been feeling a bit off lately. It's all the stuff that's going on around the world, and then I'm seeing all the negativity, and it's actually getting to me. And I know it shouldn't. I know it shouldn't, but it is. I'm just trying to stay positive and keep people positive, because next year is probably going to be a shit show when I mean world with the world. I'm not talking about with Doctor Who or anything like that. I just want everybody to have a bit of positivity in their lives because of all the shit that's going on out there. I think as a society and as a world as a whole, we've forgotten what it's like to be positive, because there's so much negativity in the media, in the press, on our TV shows, even movies. It's everywhere. Even when you listen to music now, even dancers, man, depress you. Because they've always got some sort of message that they just can't. Nobody just cannot be. No, not everybody. Of course, it's not everybody. But I just feel like people just like to focus on the negative all the time. And I'm just trying to focus on the positives here, right? We've had 5 years of people say, "Oh, I've been negative." Yeah, of course I have. I've been negative about the last era, because rightly so. And I think we've been proven. But I don't want to continue that. I want to give RTD a go. And as I said, if he doesn't pull it off, I'll give me a review, and then that'll be it. I'll move on. We'll move on. We'll do something else on this channel. I'm pretty sure you will stay with me anyway. But I'm not going to waste me breath and energy giving out again for the next few years. I can't do it anymore, guys. I just can't. These last 5 years have taken their toll on me big time. And it's only all setting in now. Because now I know, now I'm starting to realise how actually bad it is, because I'm at peace now. Because I'm not getting crap. I might get it the odd time, but I'm not getting it as heavy as I used to. But now I've come to realise how actually bad it all was, man. And it wasn't pretty. I don't even know how I've managed to get through these 5 years, to be quite honest with you. I suppose most of the credit goes to Cheryl, of course. She's my wife. But you guys in the chat have kept me going as well. But so, I had to get a lot of things off my chest last night. And, if anybody was upset about it, that wasn't my intention. You all know that. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm good. I'm good today. It's just we've had a busy few weeks as well, I suppose. It's been a bit non-stop. So, it does kind of all pile up. We all have our moments. It's your channel, and I like that I found a place to learn about the Doctor from true fans. I heard the Cold War Part 2. Let's be happy for once. Says Bobby. Listen to more music. Yeah, I do listen to me music. But I've been kind of going down this rabbit hole, as I said, watching all these YouTube things about YouTubers and all of this. But here's the gas thing. Cheryl's at the show me another thing now. Apparently, sheep in China, and in some fella took a photograph in England. So apparently, sheep in China have been walking in a circle for 11 days non-stop now. just keep going in circles. As soon as I seen the video, aliens. But no, all joking aside, yeah, there's something weird going on with the sheep. So if you live in the countryside somewhere in the UK and you happen to come across sheep and see them walking in a circle, take a video, send it to us. I'm actually deadly serious because it's happening in China. I want to see if it's happening around the world. But there was a photograph taken in England. A fella during the pandemic was cycling his bike and he came across these sheep in a circle and he took a photograph. And then there's a video, as I said, of sheep walking in circles in China. So there's something going on with our sheep. The cult of wool, says Daniel. So I find that all fascinating. And remember, as I said last night as well, we're all on our way to the moon. You know, so as I said, our generation is going to see someone land on the moon. Obviously, this mission is unmanned. They want to test all the equipment and make sure that the Van Allen radiation belt doesn't cause havoc with the equipment, but also they've got some sensors and a dummy or something in there to check how it affects humans. Because next year is the planned launch to send people to the moon. But as Biden said, the first person of color and the first woman to the moon, because he just couldn't say we're sending people up to the moon. He had the virtual signal because he's a twat. So yeah, they're sending a man and a woman up to the moon, which I have no problem with. Their gender and their skin color is actually fucking irrelevant. The fact that you're putting two people on the moon is the achievement there. Yeah. I mean, that president, he's a joke, man. I'm going to say it out straight. He's a joke. He's a joke, but he's not the only joke that's running the country right now. That's the thing about it. We've all got jokers in our leaders. Here in Ireland, in England, they have a joke of a leader. Canada's leader got a dressing down by the Chinese leader. That was bleeding brilliant, right? And then you got Biden in America, right? We're screwed, man. We're screwed. We got idiots running our countries. That's why I want to stay positive about Doctor Who. Come on. Yeah, but I did see a few channels address the kind of negativity that has been aimed towards Millie. And as I said, they're only a small minority of people. You know, I think the majority of fans, even the ones that are cautious and have genuine concerns, those fans are still going to wait and see what happens before they pass judgment. But there's a lot out there that have already passed judgment and don't give this a hope in hell. I mean, the deal with Disney propels Doctor Who into the stratosphere. This is going to go global, worldwide viewership and attention. I think some people out there are underestimating this show. This show has a knack of surviving. And I do think once the David Tennant specials drop, I think we'll get some idea of how good or bad RTD is this time round. Remember, like Moffat, near the end, he burned out. He probably should have left after Series 4. But in saying that, though, he did give us Waters and Mars. And I did like that one. The one, what was it? what was it called? Was it the Dead Planet or something? Was that what it was called? The one with the bus. Your one from EastEnders was in it. That was a good episode. I just didn't like the end of time part 1 and 2. Um, but he was burning out. He was burning out. But now he's had such a long break from Doctor Who now, you know, and I think he's revitalized. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But it certainly is interesting times ahead. I will say that. So yeah, as I said, there's been the reaction on Twitter. So Doctor Who is trending. Matt Smith is trending as well, believe it or not. The TARDIS is trending. Irish Twitter is trending, but we won't get into that. But Irish Twitter is gas. But Doctor Who is trending. Matt Smith is trending. And I did see Millie was trending. But this thing, I have to go into entertainment, isn't it? Yeah, that's how we'll know. Ricky Martin's trending. Oh, what's happened now? Chris Brown's trending. Oh my god. And obviously Coronation Street is trending because obviously the announcement of Millie, then there would have been some reaction from Coronation Street fans. So as I said, it all looks good, man. It all looks good. I can't wait to see. See what happens. I'm pretty sure she'll I remember when Billie Piper was given the role, and I can remember that there were a lot of people that weren't sure about I've lost my train of thought there. Sorry. What was I even saying? Can someone what the hell? How did that happen? I've just lost my train of thought. Absolutely gone. Afternoon at the TARDIS Sound official channel, Scottish Stavros, and from Rob there, John Dracker Rabbit, all as well. Just made a brew, he says. Well, enjoy that brew. I have my coffee there. He's not me. I'm a coffee drinker. But I just totally lost my train. Oh my god. This is starting to happen a lot lately. Memory lapses. Anyway, we've confirmed the date and the time for the Noel Clarke Brotherhood watch along. So I'll be throwing up a video in the next few days just to give you the finer details on that one. So Noel Clarke will be back in a couple of weeks' time on the channel to do the third movie of the Hood trilogy, and of course it'll be myself and also my co-host Lee, who joined us for the last one as well, and Noel Clarke. So yeah, that's the 3rd of December. Well, I'll give you the time, and I'll put the date back up just to remind everybody as well when I throw up the trailer for the movie and stuff like that, as we always do. So yeah, look out for that one. And I still haven't forgot that The Shining won the horror poll. So we still have to do The Shining as well. So we'll try get that done next week. Because as I said, tomorrow's the wedding anniversary, so I won't be around Um, well, I won't be around anyway, at least until later on that night, I suppose. But um, what you call it? As I said, we got a couple of plans. So yeah, we're gonna go and try get something nice to eat somewhere and stuff like that. Nothing too fancy, but just the two of us, couple of drinks, bit of dinner, and then yeah, 4 years, 4 years. There you go. Never thought. I have to be honest, man. Any people out there, because I see a lot of people as well in their fandom, that talk about, not being able to meet someone and stuff like that. Well, look, I used to feel the same way too, right? And I used to be in that situation too. But, it's weird how even me and Cheryl met, but it turned into a 4 year marriage. Like, so, you know, what I'm trying to say is that, keep the faith. There's someone out there for everybody. I believe that, you know. Um, and, as they say, love finds you in mysterious ways, I have to say. I just want to say how brilliant one casting of David Tennant was. All it took to sell out Doctor Who magazine for the first time in years. Absolutely, positively fantastic, says Adam there. Absolutely, absolutely. And remember, there was a backlash against David Tennant and RTD because the previous era fans were not happy that David Tennant was back. And then they certainly weren't fans of RTD when he brought David Tennant back. Um, so they tried to do what we did 5 years ago. And remember, as I said, when we backlashed, when we were protesting against this era, the magazine actually, struggled. Right, merchandise struggled. The only merchandise that was flying off the shelf was classic Who merchandise. The animated episodes as well kept some of the licensees afloat, right? But this time around, they had zero. The fans that were throwing their toys out of the pram this time are so-called fans, the previous era. They throw their toys out of the pram, but they made zero impact because they had absolutely. See, this is what I try. This is what I was saying to people the last 5 years. These fans actually, or so-called fans, there's not many of them online, right? But the thing that made them powerful was the fact that they had the backing of certain accounts out there, right? And then you're seeing then some not cast members, but ex-writers coming out and criticizing fans and backing them up, right? So they never really had any power until they were given that power because they were pandered to, right? But now that things have changed and the regime has changed, they actually have no power. They never had in the foot. Well, they did because obviously, they were backed, but in reality, they never really had the power. The power was given to them from other people, but that's not the case anymore now, and they can make zero impact, right? And if they release a Doctor Who figure of this anniversary version of David Tennant's Doctor, it's gonna sell out. Anything connected to that 60th anniversary is gonna sell out because it's the 60th anniversary anyway. But it'll sell out even if RTD can pull it off and the writing's fantastic. Everything's gonna fly off the shelf connected to that 60th anniversary. It's gonna actually embarrass the previous regime. And they've already been embarrassed. The fact that the Doctor Who magazine sold out and they were having distribution problems. I had to order my magazine online just to get it because they were sold out everywhere. In every place where there wasn't distribution problems, they sold out. They sold out in Dublin City here. The magazine sold out, gone. Gone. It wasn't even on the bleeding shelves probably an hour and it was gone. people like myself were literally waiting on that magazine, and people got there before me, unfortunately, but they got the magazine. It sold out. It sold out in parts of England, sold out in some parts of Scotland, but some parts of Scotland also had distribution problems. Now, if you still haven't got the magazine and you're looking to get it, you can order it off the Who Shop. It's official, but you can order it off the Who Shop. Now, I don't know if they still have any copies left, but when we ordered, which was a couple of days back now at this stage, when I told you all, whenever that was, I don't know if they haven't. I know the Wolf and the Storm also got her magazine there. So if you are looking to get that magazine, try out the Who Shop and see if it's there. I should actually I'll check and see if it's sold out. You know what? We'll do that real quickly. Because if the Who Shop is sold out, that'll be absolutely mind-boggling. Right, let's see. Right, so we'll just click into it. This is brilliant, and I'm gonna put it up to prove it to everybody, because you know what, when we do stuff right, do you remember the other side, we're spinning all the time trying to make it out that everything was doing great, but they never actually showed any proof. Well, watch this, right? This is the Who Shop, right? This is the Who Shop. This is online, right? Look at this. They're awaiting confirmation of more stock. They've sold out, folks. They've sold out. They've sold out. They've sold out the magazine. They're waiting on more stock. Yeah. Oh, that just brings a. That just look. What can I say? What can I say? You know, this is this. Listen, I'm not messing. This some people think I'm being melodramatic here or over dramatic, whatever. But this is historical right now. In the terms of, if you see the way that this magazine has declined over the last 5 years, right? And to see it make a stunning comeback with its very first issue. Remember that. With RTD's era's very first issue. And the thing is sold out everywhere. So much so that they're awaiting confirmation if there's going to be any more stock, because they probably didn't even print enough copies, because they probably didn't know how many people bought it. Well, you know now. So when the next issue comes out, there should be no problems, because you should have everything in place. And trust me, I'd make sure that I'd have, just make sure that you have enough copies this time. So if you have to print literally more than 3 times more than you normally would, do that. They're gonna sell. As I said, I wasn't exaggerating when I put up that video the last time. Doctor Who magazine sold out. Doctor Who magazine saved ? It's a resurrection, folks. We are entering a period of unknown territory here. Because it's actually weird to say that, because this is the way it should always have been. Magazines flying off shelves, you know, merchandise selling, you know. But bar Jodie Whittaker's first series, after that, everything just collapsed. So to recap, Doctor Who magazine has sold out in Dublin. It's sold out in all parts of England it was available in, and all parts of Scotland it was available in. And I'm pretty sure Wales as well, right? And now we've got the Doctor Who shop who's awaiting news to see if there's more stock because they've sold out the magazine. I am lucky we got air order in when we did. Jesus. And remember, they do back issues. So this will be brought out again anyway at some stage. Even if they don't restock now, it will be brought back out at some stage and it'll sell out. It will sell out. Those people that couldn't get it will want that first copy because it's the very first interview with RTD, proper full-length interview. That's just the magazine, folks. Right? If this is an indicator of where Doctor Who is heading, right? And it is too early to tell. I'm not going to, say we should take this as yes, it's going to be great. It could still go awry, but if early indications are to show, this show isn't dead. There's still life in this old bird, yeah. And I really, really hope he succeeds, to be quite honest with you. Because I just want to sit down and watch Doctor Who again with a smile on my face, being scared, listening to the plot threads, intelligent conversation being had. Doctor Who over the past 5 years being dumbed down. Want Doctor Who to go back to being an intelligent sci-fi show. And if some fans don't get it, well then I'm sorry, fair enough. That's the way it is. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I mean, we could even see with the previous era, it was dumbed down, but still Chris Chibnall had to explain things to fans, to these fans, because they still didn't understand. So they're going to be screwed for the RTD era because they won't know what's going on. They can't keep Doctor Who on shelves. Brilliant. Exactly. About bloody time. This, as I said, this Disney thing, I said Doctor Who can now reach its full potential. I said this. I said this. I have always said that BBC don't realise what they have. Right? They have a golden goose. This thing could be epic. And now that we're probably close to getting that, there's a lot of nervous tension out there as well, I have to say. Because, it's something that some fans have wished for a long time, for this show to be truly respected and to reach its full potential. And now it's got a chance to do that. I saw TikToks of fans in Leeds trying to get the magazine. There was a line, "It's becoming a phenomenon." Oh, if you can send me that, if you can actually send me that video. If you can actually send me that video, I'll throw that up later on and I'll do something, I'll make a comment on it. I mean, that is absolutely fantastic if that's actually happening. People queuing for Doctor Who magazine. Like queuing for the magazine. Wow. Jack, Disney are only distributing the show, mate. They're only distributing the show. Look, I would agree with you if Disney had any influence on the show, right? If they had input into the show, but they don't. They're only the distribution arm. That's it. Obviously, if that changes, Jack, then you have every right to feel the way you feel. And I'd be the same with you. I don't want Disney to have any actual input into the show. No, they don't have any say in it. It's been clarified by the Radio Times. That was the Telegraph. The Telegraph lied. I did a video on it. No, even Gobby Guy, as far as I know, has done a video on it. He actually has done a video on it. No, Disney have no input whatsoever. It's only the distribution because of the Telegraph headline, right? It caused, as you know, Jack, it caused an awful lot of trouble in the fandom from everybody, right? So it was quickly, this is what I said in the stream the other day. What I like about RTD and his team, anything that's coming out that they believe is bullshit, they're squashing it straight away. So the next day, that Telegraph article, the Radio Times came out with their own, and it was actually confirmed what was said by, what's her face? Woman. That was supposed to make, that was the journalist adding his own comment to it. They've nothing to do with it whatsoever. We were all relieved, Jack. And fair enough, you said you've been in work and you've been busy. So there you go. There's some news for you there. They're not having any input, mate. They're only distributing it. That's it. Right? That's why they've thrown money at it, because they want it on Disney Plus, yes. But because they're trying, because look, the real reason why Disney Plus is buying up shows is because their own shows are failing. Right? That's what it is. So they're going out there all around the world and they're looking at what is a popular. Now, Doctor Who, obviously, the last few years hasn't been popular, but they know about Doctor Who and it's iconic. So that's why they want to put it on the platform. That's why they're throwing money at it. But they have no creative input whatsoever. They're trying to buy up all the best shows from around the world because their own shows are failing. And Charlotte Moore's comments, right, that she made, thank you, Daniel. Charlotte Moore's comments that she made, the journalist was very clever to cut off the part of the interview where she said that they had no input. He added his own thing because this is what these journalists do. And I called that journalist out, by the way, and guess what? No response. But they're all the same. The Telegraph, the Guardian, all of them. They're all a bunch of bloody liars, and they will bend the truth and twist the truth to cause uproar, to sell their fucking newspapers. Gobby did a video on it. I did a video on it. And I'm pretty sure loads of other people out there did it, because we were all concerned about Disney and what their input actually was. And it was confirmed that they have no creative input. They're just throwing a shitload of money at it so they can have it on their bloody their platform. Because that's what's happening. That's what's happening. They're buying up all of these other shows because, Jack, they failed themselves and they know they failed. You know, the one thing I'll say about the Star Wars fans out there and all, and we do give out about them sometimes because we think they go overboard sometimes, but they are correct. Disney has failed at creating its own content now. It's completely gone down the toilet. So now they're buying up all of these franchises, and again, not having creative input is actually a good thing for Disney, because they ruin everything else that they touch anyway. So it would have been made clear when the Doctor Who deal was done, look, he's have no creative input. We're more than willing to put it on Disney Plus. Yes, let's get Doctor Who out there. But they know, Disney knows that they will also make money off this. That's why they've bought it up, and they're buying other shows up as well. Well, I guess Russell doesn't need the BBC license fee anymore. No, he doesn't. And that's a good thing, Jack. That's a good thing because, you know, I agree with people like yourself that, you know, the TV license is an absolute disgrace in the way the BBC have handled themselves, you know, threatening old people to try get money out of them and all of this, right? BBC have been a disgrace. The TV license it should be scrapped. But this is the good thing about Disney now with their money. He doesn't have to go pandering to BBC looking for money off them. He's got plenty. He's flush with Sony money, with Disney Plus money. That's what he's flush with. That's the money they're flush with. Doesn't need to go near BBC. This is why when people say, well, it's still going to be on the BBC and this, that, and I'm not saying you, Jack, but other people out there, they'll say, well, BBC still have blah, blah, blah. No. This is a bad wolf production. How many times do people have to be told, right? BBC, just like Disney Plus now, are distributors. Obviously, it'll be on BBC One because Doctor Who has always been on BBC One. That won't change, right? But around the world, ABC lost their deal. Another companies lost their deal because it went on to Disney Plus. They're making more money this way. But it does. They don't have to use TV license money now or worry about, this is what I'm saying. The RTD basically has limited funds or has enough money to make the show that he wants. Apparently, it's going to go from 1 million an episode to about 10 million an episode. Right, we did a video on it. I don't know if it was, did I say 10 million, guys? I don't know. Someone will remember. We did a video on it. There was another thing that was added to it. So the episodes are something, Doctor Who, to produce an episode or something, it was about 1 million or something an episode. Right? Under the new regime, it's going to be, I think they said it was going to be like, between 10 and 11 million an episode. So that's the kind of budget he's working with. Yeah, someone has made that, and that's what I said. Some people have made similarities but think it's a negative thing. I don't think it is a negative thing. So what if there is a little bit of similarity? She's going to be her own companion in her own right. Okay? And she definitely will play it different to Billie Piper. Right? But yes, there are similarities, but I don't think that's a bad thing. But for some people out there, unfortunately, it is. And I can't really get my head around it. But we'll see. As I said, none of us will know until we watch. And then that's when we'll be able to make a true assessment of how good, bad, or whatever Doctor Who is. Scottish Stavros and friends wrestle with pop culture, says Millie will be great. I hope it doesn't lose its charm due to the increased budget. Yeah, I will agree with you on that one. Right? I mentioned this in a video a few months back. Doctor Who has a certain charm to it, and yes, okay, it's always worked on a kind of a stricter budget, right? But sometimes because of those constraints, it had this charm about it, right? CGI might be a little bit off, or the special effects. You look at the RTD era now, the first few seasons have kind of aged badly with the CGI. Still some of the CGI is actually still pretty amazing, but the majority of it has aged, right? But it has that now. I think the RTD Force era has that kind of classic feel about it because of that, right? And that's where I'm with you. With this increased budget now, the effects are going to be smoother. Everything else is going to be, all of those little clinks that we used to have are going to be gone because the money is there. But if you could still recapture those stories and make Doctor Who the way he made it back then, I think we'll be okay with the show. But I do have me worries like you on that. I do, because the MCU have rightly, as you said, screwed up, man. But I don't think RTD will allow that to happen. I really don't. I have full faith in him that he'll do right by this show. And we've already seen, we've already kind of seen that so far with okay, he had a rocky start, and I won't deny that. But since then, he's kind of kept his head down, shoot his head, and done all the right things. David Tennant, Catch and Tate coming back. They've said and done all the right things. And Shooty himself. And now we got Millie, who comes out and says that she's honoured. She's beyond honoured. and she's going to give it her best shot. And that's all we want to hear. And, as I said, she's going to have more exposure than any other companion out there because Disney Plus deal, the amount of countries that Disney is in, she's gonna be worldwide. So, she's got a lot of pressure on her shoulders as well as trying to win fans over. You know what I mean? It's, as I said, she has to be protected from social media. My advice would be to Millie or the people around Millie is have a PR team now take over our social medias until she leaves Doctor Who, if she already doesn't have a PR team. Some actors and actresses don't write on Twitter themselves. They have a PR team to do all that for them. But she needs one. She needs a PR team. She needs the right people around her. And she needs to be protected. And then with that space in that room to be able to shine, then hopefully she is able to knock it out of the park. It's really just the cast, and I'm not sure of now. Gatwa seems like a nice guy, but it just seems like too big of a departure from the original character. The Timeless Child happens, and now this. Follows up with "Hope I'm wrong," and he was just the best. I'm assuming you're talking about the casting and the decision behind the casting, whether you think it was done for the right reasons or not. Look, there's always going to be that question because of the previous era, right? And I understand that. But again, I would say to the people, look at the people that he cast in the past, in his old era. RTD doesn't cast based off ticking boxes, right? Now, obviously, he's done some shows out there that have handled some very sensitive subjects, and he has hired and cast certain people for certain roles and stuff like that. But he understands that Doctor Who is different. If you listen to the way he speaks about Doctor Who, and even when Jodie was in the role, he referred to the Doctor as a man and all of that. None of this, look, people will argue, yeah, he's cast a black man's a doctor, he's cast a trans companion, and he's brought back, but he's also brought back David Tennant, Catherine Tate, and now we've revealed the new companion, right? So if we were to look at her with a cold hard eye, I would say that, well, I think he's actually, he's catered to everybody. He's catered to everybody right now. But you've got to look at his past and not what Chris Chibnall done. Chris Chibnall cast based off gender or race and all of that. He didn't cast these people because they were the best for the role, right? He cast them based on all of that stuff that I've just mentioned, right? Whereas I don't believe RTD is that way when it comes to Doctor Who. See, I think people are looking at these other shows that he's done and the fact that he went to America and he came back and he changed and all of that. As I said, you've got to listen to the way he speaks about Doctor Who. And that's why I said the first interview with RTD is going to be very interesting, because you're not just reading words off a paper. You've got to really, when you're reading an RTD interview, it's not just words on a page. There's other subtext there and stuff that you have to, it's not just as simple as reading an RTD interview. There's a lot of layers there. It's like peeling back an onion when you listen to that man talk. But he must be judged on what he did in the past. And as I said, I think the reason some fans think that all of this is tick boxing is because of the previous era, because the previous showrunner did that. And I don't think we should be judging RTD based on decisions that another showrunner made. We should be basing our opinions and stuff on the stuff that he did with Doctor Who, not even the other shows that he did, right? Because all that concerns us is what he did with Doctor Who. So you look back at what he did in 2005 until he left the show, right? And then you look at what he's done so far, right? And how he's spoken about the show. I don't think he has changed. Yes, okay. People will argue there's a little bit more diversity in the cast this time round. But that's not a bad thing. But we'd be under no illusion, though, that RTD, that wouldn't have been his first thinking, well, I need to bring in a black doctor. I need to bring in a trans actress, right? I need to bring in this, that, and the other. He's not thinking that. He's not thinking that. He might have done that for other shows because it was a certain era, certain period that he was casting. So we got the kind of, again, you should be judging him on Doctor Who anyway, right? And what he did the first era. And I don't think his beliefs when it comes to Doctor Who have changed. He's cast a black doctor, right? But it's a male doctor, isn't it? Skin color should be irrelevant, but I can understand why it is a cause for concern for some fans out there because of the previous regime. And this is what I'm saying. We cannot judge RTD on the previous regime. We got to judge him on what he did with Doctor Who in the past. Now, if he gives us any cause to have concern within Doctor Who when we see what he does, then we can come out and say that. But right now, we do not know. And I think he has tried to bring everybody on this journey. Well, again, you're bringing up the BBC, right? BBC have no, how do I put it? BBC will have limited input, if any. And the reason for that is that they decided to hand the show over to Bad Wolf Studios, right? So BBC have actually said, well, we don't know what to do with it anymore. We've tried this, hasn't worked, right? So they've handed it over now. They're not, RTD is not going to have to listen to the BBC. Listen, BBC wouldn't be handing over Doctor Who to RTD if they didn't believe that he would do right by the show. Listen, this goes beyond ticking boxes and all of this now, right? This show is on life support right now, right? They can't screw it up, right? They can't actually screw this up. So, I mean, BBC can go to RTD and say, well, we'd like to put it, but at the end of the day, he's showrunner. He'll decide what goes in and what goes out. How do you know? I mean, again, I see this comment a lot. How do you know that BBC told RTD that they couldn't cast another white male? Who told you that? Because if I'm just going to say this, right? Because it's a contradiction. And I'll tell you why. Because he's brought back David Tennant and he's a white male, straight white male. So this argument, again, I see this a lot as well online. I mean, it's invalid. He's brought back a straight white male. He's brought back David Tennant. So if BBC, as you said, he brings back the show under a condition, well, then David Tennant wouldn't be back. He would have just went straight with Shooty and went ahead with it. Yeah, of course he's the break, but again, you invalidate your own argument when you say that under condition that he that he doesn't cast a straight white male, but he's brought back David Tennant. And yes, fair enough. It's to boost the ratings. But as I said, nobody's denying that. After the last 5 years, he needs to do something drastic. Fans mightn't like David Tennant being back, or might be concerned about David Tennant back, but I think people need to realise we're in desperate times here. It's a desperate situation for Doctor Who. They've got to do something radical. They've got to do something radical. And only bringing back David Tennant would work. You couldn't do this with Matt Smith on his own. No, I'm not. No, Matt Smith is a great Doctor, but David Tennant is the most popular. David Tennant is being used, but at the same time doesn't mind being used. He's there to bridge that gap. He's there to win fans back over. And there's no shame in that. And I don't think that RTD, and this is the thing that kind of puzzles me, I don't think RTD should be criticised for that. What's wrong with him trying to win fans back over? Isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want? We want fans to come back. So if it has to be David Tennant to do it, then let it... Ted, stop it. If it has to be David Tennant to do it, well then let it be David Tennant to do it. Right? And then if he manages to keep all of those fans in place, by the time we get to Shooty's era, job done. Job done. And if David Tennant knocks it out of the park and the 60th anniversary ends up being this absolutely amazing thing, then we'll all look back on this period and we'll have a little chuckle to ourselves and probably say, well, we are probably all overreacted. Or I could be wrong and it could go the other way. Whereas then I'll be saying, well, okay, I pinned me flag, I got it wrong, blah, blah, blah. But we'll move on. I'm excited about Tennant. It's Gatwa and Onward I'm talking about. Well, I don't look, I fair enough, but I don't think you have a reason to be right now to be worried, because we haven't seen that in the Shooty yet. We've seen one little 20-second, we've seen a clip where he's in it right at the end, right? And people have jumped on that straight. Oh, he's too campy, he's this, that, and or whatever, right? We don't know yet. We need to just wait and see. There's no point of us all getting worked up whether it's going to fail or not, or whether it's going to be a success or not. We just have to wait and see. That's it. That's it, man. I mean, I don't know. I think the last 5 years have mentally damaged a lot of fans, including myself. And I just think that some fans are just caught in that same loop and just can't see past the previous era and think everything is still going to go to shit. And you may well all be right. But at the same time, as I've always said, there could be that possibility that the show actually goes on to be a huge success and we've got our show back. And we got loads of new fans in that support the show. It'll be great. I know the waiting game. See, that's the thing that I actually feel sorry for people that are still a bit, they're still a bit cautious. It is that waiting game. And it is horrible. I have to say, I'm actually, I hope I am right. I know that it's just a good feeling, right? But I hope I am right that we get something either New Year's Day or something this year. Going in. Hold on, Ted. Hold on. I just have to pick him up. Come here, buddy. Do you want to get up on your chair? There you go, buddy. Now, it's the waiting that is the worst part. I will admit that. I just want an episode to drop. Look, that New Year's Day slot, as I said, is still there, right? We'll find out if what's taken Doctor Who's place of Atten, right? But if that slot is still there, drop an episode New Year's Day, and I think if he did that, and once people get the first initial episode done, and then they have a couple of months or whatever, or a couple of weeks, or whatever, which way he does it. It gives people time to digest that episode, and then that will determine whether fans are at ease or not. But I do agree with you. I think the waiting part of this whole situation, Jack, is torture, man. It is. I mean, we're getting all of these announcements one after another, and it does feel like it's going at a fast pace. But then we've got to kind of tell ourselves, well, it's not really, because we still all have to wait till next year. So, yeah, it's one of those, man, isn't it? It's one of those. We just have to. That's why I wish there was something. Give us something. I was hoping, but then I realised they're not filmed yet. But it would have been nice to get something. I don't know, maybe when they start filming, he might put a little trailer together, and surprise us. I doubt it though, but it is their waiting game. No, man, listen, mate. Listen, you don't need to stay quiet. Listen, at the end of the day, right? You're an RTD fan. This is your era, right? And this is personal to you, right? You don't need to stay quiet. You don't need to stay quiet. All I'm just saying is like, yeah, you're worried about a few things, right? That's fine. That's absolutely fine, right? But all I'll just say to you is don't get yourself worked up yet. Wait and see what happens first, And then, if anything does pop up, Jack, you'll get your chance to come on and have your say and voice your opinion. Never stopped you from doing that, And you can give your opinion freely. I just think everybody should just wait so we don't get all worked up. I think we should just all wait and see what happens. And then if it goes tits up, then we can all just get drunk and just remember the good old times with Doctor Who and just leave it at that. But imagine if this is a success. Oh my God. Oh my God, we'll be into new territory. It'll be exciting. It'll be fascinating. It'll just be intriguing to watch. Remember, this show has been down and out before. The best thing about Doctor Who is it has a knack of survival. In 2005, RTD proved that it had a knack of surviving. And that fourth season, if that fourth season hadn't become a success that it did, we wouldn't be sitting here today. But it did. And the RTD era, like a lot of fans, is cherished by us all. I call it the golden era of New Who. I honestly do believe that. If he can replicate that and give us another golden period of Doctor Who, I think this one will last a bit longer than the last one, let's just say. But we'll be in for some hell of a journey. Some hell of a journey. And yeah, let's make it clear. I think we've already made it clear to RTD and the people behind Doctor Who that will never tolerate Disney having any sort of creative input. So that must stay that way now. Because the one fear I do have, and I'll just say it, and it'll be the only time, but the one fear I do have is that Doctor Who does become an absolute sensation, and then Disney want a bit more of that pie, and then decide to ask the powers that be, well, can we actually have some input, but we'll throw a load of more. That's what I hope doesn't happen, and I hope RTD and the people behind it stay steadfast and say no. I love the Jack, you bring up the coming soon trailers, right, mate? I've been watching Series 4 and I've been watching all, go into the extras on each disc and I've been watching, by God, man, the trailers back in the day were fucking brilliant. They have this cinematic trailer, right? There's two different trailers there's a few trailers for the Series 4 uh, premiere, right? But I found one that I'd never seen before, and it was this cinematic trailer. Oh my God. I was like, holy shit, that's epic. Oh man, the way they did it, the way they framed the trailer, David Tennant, Catherine Tate, she's narrating the trailer and all she is, right? Now they show a bit of it in the trailer that we got, but this is an extended version of it, right? And then you have Daleks in the background and Davros. Oh man, I was like, yeah, give me that. I put on, as you know, I start watching Series 4 then. I start watching Series 4, man. Oh my God. Them trailers were amazing, mate. Them trailers were amazing. Even his trailer that he dropped, the little trailer teaser that he dropped, I thought that was pretty amazing, that trailer. He has a knack. He knows how to do it. And do you remember the little, fans will remember this. Do you remember they did the little, every night, they do a little teaser. Doctor Who returns in 4 days, or Doctor Who returns in 3 days. Tomorrow on Doctor Who. They have all those little TV spots and all. Yeah, I want to see all of that come back. But that trailer made that series. Now that series is epic anyway. But that trailer had me going, holy shit balls. If that was played in the cinema, which it was, could you imagine the people that were there that never seen that show but seen this flash up on screen? They'd be going, what the absolute holy fuck have I been missing? Doctor Who, Saturday at 7 p.m. Yeah, then it changed to 7:20, didn't it? Got me so hyped on Fridays. I know, man. I know. He'll replicate some of that again, and you will feel good, but at the same time, you will have as you said, you have your concerns and your worries, and you're entitled to have them. But I would say just try to draw on the positives so you don't get yourself or anybody out there gets yourselves in a bit of a fluster. Just let's wait and see what happens. And if it turns out to be great, then we're all on board, hadn't we? If it turns out to be crap, well, then people out there that said it was going to be crap will be vindicated, and then we'll just move on from there. Do you think you guys do you guys think Captain Jack Harkness could return? Well, I don't see a problem with John Barrowman returning. He was punished years ago. And because of the newer fans in this fandom that jumped on the Jodie Whittaker era, they wanted to go around, cancel everything that they didn't like, and they cancelled John Barrowman unnecessarily. John Barrowman had already paid and had apologised for what he did. Also, none of his cast members went to the police to report them. Okay, so they seem to not have an issue. But the newer fan in this fandom did have an issue with it. I would have no problem with John Barrowman returning back to Doctor Who. Or if he didn't return back to Doctor Who, he should be given Torchwood again. I'm a fan of Torchwood. I know there's not many people in here that are fans of Torchwood, but I absolutely love Torchwood. I thought he was brilliant in it. I love the character of Captain Jack. I think John Barrowman, is a lovely man. He's had a raw deal in this fandom because of certain minority of fans who are now attacking David Tennant and RTD. The very same people, by the way, just to let you all know. So that's who we let cancel. Well, we didn't let, but that's how these bigger BBC and all these, they just let John Barrowman be cancelled. But he had no problem using them for Jodie Whittaker's era when the numbers were down. Lord Thought is with me and he enjoyed Torchwood. So I have someone else in the chat that actually likes Torchwood with me. So that's good. As soon as I saw that, I was hooked. Exactly, man. The very first trailer I saw was for Dalek. The Doctor, exterminate. I know, man. I know that trailer for Dalek and the TV spots for Dalek were great. Were great. Look, I honestly, I know I'm being super positive, and some people out there are probably surprised, right? But I haven't felt this good or this confident about Doctor Who's future. And actually, it's more than 5 years because even under Moffat, at the end, I was actually getting a bit worried about Doctor Who. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been nearly 7 years for me that I felt this optimistic about Doctor Who. I love Peter Capaldi. I love his last couple of seasons, Series 9. I even have a soft spot for his first series. I know some of the episodes are not great, but I think his performance alone elevates them. But I'm a huge fan of Peter's Doctor, but it was gone stale there. So this is the first time I've felt real hope and optimistic that new life can be bred into the show, because this is the last chance saloon. If it doesn't work and it fails, Doctor Who is finished. It's dead in the water. And the unfortunate thing about it is, because it is on Disney Plus, it'll be dragged out for a couple of more years before they finally decide that the time is right to end it. That's my biggest worry, along with the other worry that I told you, is Disney getting an input creatively. That would, and we know that's not happening now, but that's one worry gone. But yeah, that would be my other concern, is that it doesn't work, it fails, and then they drag it through. Because look what they do with the Star Wars projects. They drag them for another couple of years. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But I remember asking me mom at 5 years old, what was that, mom? What was that? Yeah, they were, I would say, as a 5 year old, very scary. I remember watching the Daleks for the first time as a kid as well. Very scary. That's what I mean. The RTD and David Tennant. Look, at David Tennant's under no illusion why he's back, and RTD has made it very clear that he'll bring David Tennant back to win fans over, and he doesn't care what people think about it. We've already seen that some media and all went after him and stuff. He's not putting up with any of it, right? He'll do it his way, and he'll do it the way that he thinks that will bring viewers back. And if it does and it ends up being great, then nobody will have a problem with it. That's the thing that I've been trying to get through to people, right? People that are concerned, that's fine, have concerns, but why not just wait and see instead of getting worked up? Because then if it turns out all to be fine, then you got yourself stressed and worked up over nothing. And then, of course, if you're right, then, but at least you've had a kind of a positive feeling all the way through. And then, obviously, then if it turns out that you're vindicated, but then you'll be able to come out and just say it. But it's at least you had that little bit of positivity there until you got to that point. That's all I'm saying. I don't think anybody should get worked up yet. For the first 2 years, I only ever watched Doctor Who if the Daleks were in it. 10 Road to TARDIS with reindeer pulling them. Yeah, yeah. That's still kind of. See, I kind of think that's stupid. I look that episode has grown on me over the years. That Christmas special with Matt Smith, the one with the sharks. But yeah, I mean, Christmas episodes are not supposed to be taken seriously. So I'll never knock Christmas episodes. I mean, Voyage of the Damned, I'm a huge Titanic buff, as you know. When I saw that for the first time, when I saw the trailer for that, and again, the cinematics trailer for that episode is epic. Anyway, I remember when obviously when the series was on, they doing the Christmas special and they did the reveal trailer. Soon as I saw that Titanic in space, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait!" And it was actually a good. I love Voyage of the Damned. It's up there with me. Christmas Invasion, Voyage of the Damned are great. And I actually even like The Runaway Bride. The Runaway Bride gets a lot of stick, but I actually love that episode. And I'll tell you what, right? What we'll do, I think it'll be a good idea. But you know what we'll do? We'll from December onwards, we'll do a Christmas special. We'll do a Christmas special each week for New Who's On. And we'll do it because we were supposed to do it last year and I wanted to get other channels involved, but it kind of all fell apart. But what I'll do is I'll just do them here myself. So we'll do every single Christmas episode, and as you heard, Christmas. I won't be, of course, we won't be going near any of the festive episodes from the previous era, but all the others for the RTD and the Stephen Moffat ones, we'll definitely do. Because I liked some of those Christmas episodes. There's some that are really stupid. I think Moffat was the weakest. Personally speaking, I think Moffat was the weakest with Christmas stories. I thought RTD's ones were better, personally. No, I know, mate. That one was crap. Oh, I'm glad you brought that one up. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone on that one. But that episode was dire, man. That episode was dire because I like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and that was a blatant rip-off, wasn't it? And it was done poorly. Noel, have you seen the new video with Shooty interviewing Millie? No, we'll do that on Monday. We'll do that on Monday because, as I said, wedding anniversary is tomorrow. 4 years married, so I won't be online tomorrow. But I'll do it on Monday. But if you want to send it to me on Twitter on DMs, please do that. So I can have it ready to go. Obviously on Monday, and I'll come back on Monday and we'll do that because I'd like to see what she has said in the interview. Nick Frost as Santa Claus. Now, that episode, right, is a kind of divides me because on one hand, it can annoy me, but then on other occasions I've watched it, I've actually really enjoyed it. It's one of those episodes that splits me personally. I mean, I like the whole Inception dream within a dream within a dream within a dream, and the whole alien ripoff with the face huggers. And it was pretty tense, I have to say. But it's the whole Nick Frost is great. I love Nick Frost. By the way, I just want to point out that I absolutely love Nick Frost. Right, him and Simon Pegg have done some great movies that I love. I love the both of them. Right, and he made a great Santa Claus. I'm not going to lie, right? He made a great Santa Claus. The problem was it just didn't work in this episode. The dream within a dream within a dream, and then the alien rip-off. Yeah, the Cornetto trilogy, as it's called. Yeah, which one's your favorite out of that one, Jack? Which one's your favorite? Because I love obviously Shaun of the Dead. But for me, I think Hot Fuzz. I love Hot Fuzz. I think Hot Fuzz is fucking cracking. Oh yes, he's Hot Fuzz too. Yeah. That movie is and can we just give a shout out to Timothy Dalton in that movie? I mean, to be sinister the way he is, but you're on a supermarket in Devon or wherever it was, is just fucking absolutely brilliant. That whole movie, Hot Fuzz, is brilliant from start to finish. I love it. Shaun of the Dead is brilliant as well. I do love Love of Monsters. I have a soft spot for Love of Monsters. I always defend Love of Monsters. Love of Monsters is not supposed to be taken seriously. One of the best films ever made. I'd agree with you, man. I'd agree with you. The way that's filmed, where it's set, you know, all the actors, and I mean, I just love the fact that all these old people are evil little feckers, and oh man, All because they didn't win. What was it, Tidy Town or something? Town of the Year or something it was, wasn't it? I haven't watched Hot Fuzz in a good while, but I have to watch that again. I have to watch that again. And what was it? The end. What was it? World's End was the other one, wasn't it? Or at the one about the Pierce Brosnan was in that one. That one was okay. It wasn't as good as obviously Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, but Hot Fuzz is definitely brilliant. I love Paul as well, even though that's nothing got to do with the Cornetto trilogy. I'm just saying I love Paul as well. I love the two of them, but yeah, that episode made it because the Santa Claus was still there and all of that. I mean, Moffat ruined that. Moffat could have been really, really clever with that story. Love of Monsters has grown on me, says Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It is an actual good episode. People don't. I mean, there's a lot of scenes with Jackie in that are actually heartbreaking because you actually see the consequence of what happens when a companion has a family and the family is left behind while the companion is traveling with the doctor. I mean, Mr. Kennedy was great. Peter Kay was great in it until they put him in that stupid costume. Sorry I haven't been able to talk the last hour, but I've been listening. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Moffat's best Christmas episode was the husband of River Song. I have to go back and watch that again, Jack. That one divides me, but I haven't seen it in a while. But as I said, we will be doing this festive special or the Christmas specials, and I think that was a Christmas special, wasn't it? So we'll do it again, and I'll bring you on actually for that panel. And you can tell me why you like it. See if my opinion has changed. Talisi tied up the silence in the library plot. Yeah, I mean, it took him ages to get there eventually, though, didn't it? I mean, Jesus Christ, River Song's story should have been finished a long time before then. I think that's the issue I have with it. But again, I'm willing to give the episode another go, as I always am. Has anyone else still not managed to get the new magazine in store? I've tried and tried. Right, as I said, I actually did a little section on this stream about that. So in the Who shop, they've actually ran out of stock and they're waiting to get new stock. In Dublin City, it's sold out. In the parts of Scotland that it was available, that had no distribution problems, it's sold out. Same with England. And I'm pretty sure Wales never gets mentioned for some weird reason, but I'm pretty sure they sell it in bleeding Wales as well. And it would have sold out in Wales. But it has sold out. They didn't print enough copies either. They're actually waiting to see confirmation. There, actually, I haven't gotten rid of it. I've actually left that window. So I'll screen share it just to show you. So this is the Who shop. So they've sold out and they're awaiting confirmation of more stock. And it's the Doctor Who issue, this issue here. They've sold out. So anywhere where it's been, in shops, supermarkets, whatever you can get it in the UK that hasn't had problems with distribution, it's been sold out. The magazine has actually sold out. And it hasn't done that in a long time. Right? And they're still not finished because obviously they're waiting to get confirmation if there's going to be more stock. Remember, they do also do back issues. So they'll do a back issue on this eventually and it'll sell out for the people that didn't get it the first time round. They'll get it. So the magazine is on the upward trajectory and RTD has made it clear that Doctor Who magazine will be used for the exclusives, what it should be. So that right now, the early indications is, and folks, I think RTD should be given credit here. This is the first bit of credit he should be actually getting. The magazine has sold out because He went back to the way things were done originally when he was there and when Moffat was there. The magazine is a tool to be used to get the interviews out there, get the exclusives and all of that, right? And he's done that with his first issue and it's sold out, folks. It's sold out. So he deserves a huge amount of credit for that because he could have carried on the same way that Chibs did and gave it to some other magazine or a world exclusive in the Mirror or the Sun or whatever. He didn't do that. He went to Doctor Who magazine and says, right, guys, here we go. Here's a world exclusive for you. So he should be given credit for that. This is the first thing he should be given credit for because it's the first positive thing that's happened since he's, well, no, it's not the first positive thing that's happened since he's come back, but it's an early indication that his return has had a positive effect on the magazine. Guys, if we all just wait, see what happens, just relax, let's enjoy this for now. See what happens in the next few weeks and months. Apparently, there's a rumor flying around just to let you know that this won't be the only announcement. Apparently, there's going to be another announcement coming soon before the end of the year. Actually, I'm told this month there's supposed to be another announcement. So I don't think we're finished yet. And the reason why, well, it's actually obvious. They say it's a rumor, but it's not really a rumor because if you think about this logically, actually, so they've announced everybody that they need to announce now. I mean, that are part of the main cast. No, obviously, forget about the returns and people who might return. But the Doctor and the Companion now have been chosen, right? Now, Shooty and Millie are going to be filming very soon. So, if you put your Sherlock Holmes cap on for a second, it's logical to assume that the next announcement that they'll make or big thing that they will reveal will be the costume of both. Well, Millie obviously will wear different clothes during our run like Billie Piper did, but the initial first costume that she'll wear, and then obviously whatever costume that Shooty is going to be wearing, that'll be revealed, I reckon, next. So you don't really need people out there to tell you it's a rumor that's flying around. It's pretty logical, actually, if you think about it, that would be the next announcement, unless he has some other surprise up his bloody sleeve. But it's definitely it has to be the costume next because they're going to be filming very soon. So that's what I reckon. And a couple of people in the chat last night, I'll just acknowledge that a couple of people in the chat actually did say that as well, that they reckon that the next announcement will be the costume. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he does tend to wear, Glee made that comment last night as well, and I agreed with him. He does love wearing shorts where his chest is exposed and stuff like that. Again, I love his sense of fashion, but again, that's his personal dress sense. And yes, he will probably have some input. I think he's already indicated that he will have some input into his costume, but he'll add his own flair to the costume that they want to put him in. And I think that'll be okay. To have personal touches of Shooty in the costume won't be necessarily a bad idea like the previous one. Well, what do you think it's going to be next? If it's not the costume, what could it be? Because they've done David Tennant, they've done Catherine Tay, Yasmin Finney, right? So that's for the 60th, right? There'll be a few more surprises in that 60th as well. So there will be more announcements on that. Maybe it could be that garbage. I'll probably agree with you there. There could be something for that. But we've already got now Shooty and his companion now. They're going to be filming very, very soon. Actually, it's weeks away. So it is not even too far away. So they will have to reveal the costume at some stage in the next couple of weeks anyway. So if it's something before that, then it'll probably be to do with the 60th, or maybe it'd be too early to say who's going to be guest starring in Shooty's Bleeding Era, to be quite honest with you. But they might, if filming is beginning soon, they might have the first guest stars and announce them. Yeah, yeah. Well, they did the same with Jodie. Gave her a bit of bling with the earring. And I mean, here, I just don't. Yeah. Look, I like to see him in a kind of a 1800s costume or something to that kind of style of dress, you know. But I doubt that would happen. But whatever his costume is, we'll just have to wait and see. But I do hope it's a great costume that people can cosplay, because I don't care what anybody says, right? Seeing grown men in Jodie Whittaker's costume, and she could say, our fans can say that it's gender neutral and all of that. I'm sorry, man. It looks ridiculous. You wouldn't catch me in it anyway. And I will say this, though, I'm not slagging the men that have, right? I have to say, I think he's a very brave to do that, because it wouldn't be me. I would not put that costume on with that jacket and Walker. No, no. I don't care what those fans say and how they tried to spin it. That costume is not gender neutral, or never was gender neutral. Me arse. Get away. Yeah, we've got the, yeah. In fairness, it's gonna be interesting to see what his costume is. But again, this is the excitement about the fandom. We don't know. It's that unknown. I hope he doesn't have a stereotype hood costume like in the fam. I know, yeah, yeah, because Whitaker started off in her promo video with a hood. She had a hood, but I don't think she ever really wore the hood in her era that much, did she? Because she did have a hoodie on. But I agree, yeah. Nah, RTD, look, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he knows what he's doing. We'll just have to wait and see. We just have to wait and see. And yes, fair enough. He has David Tennant's shirt on there, but you never know. He might keep that shirt and then add to that costume, add his own trousers and his own jacket and his own shoes to the costume. The new theme is a hip hop remix. Is that just a joke, or no? They're not going to do the theme as a hip hop remix. Get away. I mean, no, that's not going to happen. Come on. They're not. They can't change. No, that's iconic, man. They couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. No. Obviously, you're taking the piss there and having a laugh, but no way. No. No, it has to be a traditional. It must keep in line with all of the theme tunes back in the day. You can't be doing. I've seen even rock versions and all and stuff. And Peter Capaldi's, I would kind of argue, was a bit off for me. Even Matt Smith's was a tiny bit off, but that one actually grew on me then, and I actually ended up loving that one. But I'd like it to go back to the kind of the David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston era kind of theme, something like that. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Again, we just have to wait and see. But they are all valid points to be made. Um, but we'll just have to wait and see. That's the way of it, unfortunately. But it is, as you said, this waiting game is torture. The sooner something's on air, then hopefully then a lot of fans can breathe a sigh of relief and say, "Yeah, I'm on board," and then we can just move on. But it is the wait and the anticipation. It's killing me. So there we go. Anyway, good luck to Millie. Good luck to RTD, and congratulations to the magazine. It's an achievement, and it should be acknowledged. But some out there won't acknowledge it. Obviously, people that we know will acknowledge it because they will be honest with their audience. But other people that have different agendas will not acknowledge that the magazine sold out. They'll keep that under wraps. They won't say anything about it, which is sad. Which is sad because that is an actual achievement, and RTD should be given credit for that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens anyway. Right, look, we're going to leave it there anyway. As I said, I'll be back on Monday, and as I also said, Noel Clarke will be back on the 3rd of December to finish the Hood trilogy. As I said, we've been keeping in touch, and we've been communicating a lot. So, yeah, I'll put up further updates next week. So, yeah, just want to check just before, because Radio Times and all of these people always drop an article around this time. So, just want to make sure we don't miss anything. The last articles were all a day ago, 17 hours ago, because I've been keeping an eye just in case there is any news. So let's see. Don't know about you guys, but it's absolutely freezing. The temperature is really, really dipped. Will the doctor die? Well, I mean, the doctor can't die, because if the doctor dies, then we won't have Shooty. I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do, but we'll have to wait and see. If this is indeed some way of fixing what happened under the last regime, and he does it and gets it done and over real quickly, but it makes it make sense, and then we find out why David is back, well then fair enough. It wouldn't be me, I would just ignore it personally. But if he feels that he has to address it, I wouldn't want him to, but you never know. You never know. We just have to wait and see, as I said. But no, there's no more new articles. So the last ones were 19 hours ago, 20 hours ago, 22 hours ago, there you go. So it'll probably be Monday when we get an influx of new articles. And obviously, as Cinnamon said, was a Cinnamon that said to me that Shooty had interviewed Millie. So there'll obviously be articles based off that as well. So we'll do all of that on Monday. So until then, have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. Stay warm, because it's absolutely bleeding freezing out there, as I said. And we will talk to you soon. Have a good one, folks. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. And thanks for everybody in the chat for contributing as well. These streams wouldn't be as fun if we didn't have the interaction from you guys as well. So I just want to thank you all. You too, Jack, and everybody else in the chat. Have a good evening. Enjoy our weekend. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. And as I said, let's try stay positive, and hopefully we're all surprised, and we can all enjoy Doctor Who again, because at the end of the day, that's all we want, all of us, Doesn't matter what opinions we have. At the end of the day, that's all of us want. At the end of the day, is for Doctor Who to be a success again, and hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. All right, folks. See you later. Bye.